Hello, everybody. It is Bryce. Are you someone that feels like they make a lot of nutrition mistakes, or just thinks they don't know what they're doing when it comes to nutrition? Um, it's really not that hard. Like I used to be very bad about nutrition, and I used to take it way too lightly to the point where I would gain a lot of weight and then lose a lot of weight and gain a lot of weight and lose a lot of weight. And I was stuck in a cycle until I just eventually stopped, and I was just at a weight like higher than normal. I was at about 190, 195 pounds. And that might not seem like a lot, but it was almost purely fat. Like there was near no muscle. And it just showed me like how easy it is to like underestimate eating and not take eating seriously and what you put in your body and at what times. And yeah, so really to get eating down, it's really simple. It really is, and you don't have to track calories or anything. Like you can track calories, right? And I think it helps. I personally still do it, but it's not a necessity. I would recommend doing it for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, finding out your maintenance calories. I know there's a lot of calculators online. They're not always the most accurate though, so I don't usually tend to um, like those kinds, like the main the maintenance calorie calculator or whatever. I don't tend to use those. I just kind of use an app. Right now I'm using Macro Factor. I know this isn't an ad, but there's also My Fitness Pal. There's Macro Factor. There's Calorie AI. There's got to be more that work, but Macro Factor and MyFitnessPal are the main two that I would personally recommend. Um, those are what I would deem to be the best of the two. And then you just get your maintenance calories. You eat above or below, whether you want to bulk or cut. And for most people trying to lose fat, that would be a cut. So you eat in a calorie deficit. And all you do is just walk and eat a lot of protein. You just go to the gym, you walk around, stuff like that. I mean, it's really easy to lose weight while you are gaining muscle at the same time. And just to give like a little bit of a more clearer picture, got something. Here we go. So as you can see here, I've got this template here that just kind of walks you through like the basics of eating and food. So you see number one here, as I've talked about already, if you're looking to build muscle and lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit and be eating lots of protein. That's really important. You're not watching your sleep and you're not eating lots of protein. Sleep is probably one I'll go into another video. But if you're not eating lots of protein, you're not getting enough sleep, you will not gain muscle. And I will talk about why protein is so important in just a moment. And you'll see a lot of people will, I mean, there's a conspiracy that you just can't eat junk food when you're trying to gain muscle, lose fat. You just like, you shouldn't do it. Like I don't know why people say this. I honestly don't. I have been tracking calories for however long, probably a year ish, maybe half a year, somewhere between there. And I've eaten damn near anything you can think of. I've eaten junk food while I'm tracking calories, and I still manage to either put on weight or lose weight while gaining muscle. Sorry, losing fat, gaining muscle. And like it says right here, if you're trying to gain muscle and lose fat, you can still eat just about anything you want as long as you hit your recommended calories and protein. Those are the main two. Those are the main two. Like I said before, maintenance calories and then getting enough protein. And the protein is zero point 0.7 to, I believe it is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I'm about 170 pounds right now. I should be eating just about 170 grams of protein, or whatever zero point 0.7 of 175 is. I'm not going to do that calculation right now because I'm eating about 170 grams of protein. But and calories in, calories out. Legit, the way you are told muscle is built, or yeah, muscle's built, and the way that you lose fat. The more protein you put in, the more muscle can build. The less room there is for fat to be there. Um, you eat healthy fats, and it will just replace the bad fats that take up your stomach, and they make you look bigger and fatter. Um, I say right here though, you can, just because you can eat anything doesn't mean you necessarily should eat anything you want. There obviously is still better options like meat. There's fruits, as you see here. There's veggies. I put the healthy-ish foods that people know of right here, but healthy foods like nuts for fats, avocado for fats. Like, I'll get into it, all the different food that goes into each category that are actually good for you. But moving on to section number 3. When are macronutrients most important, and what are the macronutrients? So the macronutrients are right here. I understand this chart is a little small, but bear with me. Macronutrients. So you've got fat, you've got carbohydrates, and you've got protein. The three macronutrients. Now, under all three of these, there's the micronutrients, like carbohydrates has sugars, protein has all of the different proteins, and fats have the different fats. I mean, they're just micronutrients. Like, there's a ton of them, and I wouldn't be able to go through all of them anyway. Um, but here it's when you should be taking them and when they are most important. So for fats, you have when you are low on energy or your sex drive is down. And it is because fats help with hormone production and energy restoration. So low energy and sex drive. I mean, that's usually when you should be eating fats. And no, you should not be eating fats before a workout. That is a big no-no. And fats are harder to absorb than carbohydrates. And I mean, carbohydrates are the easiest for your body to absorb. So if you're going to eat something, you should be eating straight carbohydrates. Try to get as little fat or protein in it as possible before a workout. For carbohydrates, right before you work out or when you wake up, because it fuels the body and it gives you energy. Pretty self-explanatory. Um, Before the workout, you want to be nice and fueled up. You want your body to be warmed up. You want your body to be ready. You know, it's important for your body to be ready and warm before the workout and have that energy to be able to lift the weight that you're about to lift, or else you can't get the most out of your workout that you might be able to. And that's why a lot of people drink like caffeine, or do pre workout. I personally just do caffeine because I don't like pre workout. I don't like using pre workout, and I don't like stuff with tons of crap in it. So usually I just eat carbs, and if I need to, I have caffeine. But I usually don't need to have caffeine. But there you are. And then carbohydrates, like I said before, easiest for your body to absorb. So you can have straight carbohydrate stuff within 30 minutes of a workout and still get the effects of it. But if you add fats or proteins, you might not get the effects of it until hours later, which is pretty bad. Finally, we have protein. Most optimal time is right after a workout, right after your muscles just got damaged. They're, torn. Um, Not torn. Well, you understand what I mean. The muscle got damaged. It's rebuilding. It's in the rebuilding process. And it's because protein is the main source of rebuilding, and it's used in muscle protein synthesis, which is the process that your muscle rebuilds and gets bigger. Because when your muscle breaks down, it then gets bigger after it grows back. Finally, for the diagrams here, um, or for this flow chart I've got, I guess, we've got the macronutrients. Kind of see a little picture of it, just in case you can't see or don't know what these are. I put them down on this table here. So, for example, like you got the protein macronutrients right here, and you're gonna get with protein, it's just a lot of meat. So you've got chicken, turkey, steak, fish, um, pork, like stuff like that. Just like like meat. It has natural creatine in it. It's got hella protein because it comes straight from an animal. And usually things that if you think of things that come straight from an animal, like dairy products or eggs that come straight from chickens or meat, stuff like that, you're usually thinking about protein. Eggs are considered protein, milk are considered yogurt. All of that is considered protein, and it comes straight from an animal. Carbohydrates, I usually think more grainy when I think of carbohydrates. I usually think of like bread, or oats. Potato is not really grainy, and fruit aren't mostly or really grainy either. But there's also a lot of things that are able to be carbohydrates. A main one that people like to consume before workouts, like said before, you should be consuming carbohydrates before workouts. A good one that a lot of people like to consume are bananas. I know bananas are pretty good. People like blueberries, and I personally like cereal or oats, sometimes bread, like toast if it's in the morning. But yeah, those are example of carbohydrates. Obviously, there's a lot more. You can see examples of them here, but those are just a few of them. Then you've got fats, and within fats, you've got nuts, avocado, cheese, um, and then stuff like up here. I don't know what that is. It looks like it says it's wine, um, but I'm not exactly, or like alcohol or something. I don't know what that is, but when you think of fats, you think of things that are pretty thick, I guess. um, so once again, eggs. Um, it says cheese up here. It says cheese is also part of a protein, but that's because it's dairy product. It's a dairy product, so it also comes from an animal partially. So you got cheese, you've got avocado. That's a great source of healthy fats, and nuts are also a great source of healthy fats. And yeah, um, those. I mean, that's just like examples of them. I feel like the biggest mistakes that people make are when to use them and how much of each you should be taking. Um, which I don't know. It depends on the person, right? The amount you should be taking depends on the person, and that's why I usually recommend an app for at least 1 or 2 weeks to just get a basis of what your macronutrients and your calories that you must be consuming per week are, because it's all different. It's all different per person. I can't tell you what to be consuming besides protein. protein is zero point 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight, but that's also subjective to the person as well, because everyone weighs something different. Um, well, I guess not everyone, there's people. Okay. It's besides the point. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people also get mixed up on the junk food. And like I said, like I went to Canes literally yesterday. Yesterday I went to Canes and it's mainly fat and protein, but it's also fast food. So you might be thinking like, oh, you shouldn't be eating that if you're trying to lose fat and gain muscle. But it really doesn't matter what you eat as long as you're hitting the protein goal and the calorie goal, because the protein goal, like said before, um, rebuilds the muscle, and it is extremely important when it comes to muscle building. And sleep. Sleep is very important as well, but that's not part of nutrition. And then caloric, um, being in a calorie deficit. And I guess I could get into that right now. Being in a calorie deficit, a lot of people are confused about this. You don't need to go run on the treadmill for 2 hours and burn 600 calories, 800 calories. You don't need to do that because you're going to eat it right back in a meal anyway. You don't need to be doing that. All you need to do is get about 10,000, 15,000. Depends on who you are and how much you want to lose. 10,000 to 20,000 steps per day. That means just walking around. Um, yes, walking burns calories. It burns a lot of calories actually. And so does like people. I know a lot of people like to fidget, and I know the scale in which people fidget is different. There are people that fidget more or less than another person will. And um, those values are called neat values, which I believe is um, I don't know what it stands for, but I know that the neat values are the values that the calories that you burn while you are doing those fidgeting things, like if you're bouncing your knee, if you're like tapping your thumb, tapping your finger, if you're just moving and fidgeting and doing something, you're also burning calories. And I feel like a lot of people get this mixed up. They're like, "Oh my goodness, I have to go run on the treadmill for 2 hours after my workout today." It's really not that. You don't have to do that. You're wasting time. Now, if you really want to and you like want to build up your endurance or it's for a sport, that's great. You honestly should be on the treadmill doing that, because that's a really good way to build up that endurance or get more agility or speed. But if you're just doing it for the weight loss, you really don't need to. Just put yourself in a 200, 300, 400 calorie deficit depending on the person. I would recommend 200, 250, 300 to start out with. Um, and just find out your maintenance calories, look at what you're eating, look at how many calories might be in it. And it can be just really a rough estimate. Honestly, if you're right on top of if you're right on top of your maintenance calories for the day, but are walking more than you used or walking more than you usually do, or you're doing more exercise than you usually do, then you'll be in a calorie deficit because you'll be burning more calories. But if you are eating in a calorie deficit and you walk less, same thing. You'll be losing. You'll still be losing fat, because even though you're walking less or you're burning less calories, you are also consuming less calories, which means you'll be in a deficit. Um, so walking 10 to 20,000 steps per day uh, would be the recommended amount. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. As long as you're in that caloric deficit I talked about and you're walking or doing some sort of exercise that you know aren't feeling like you're wasting your time on, then you'll be in a then you'll lose fat and gain muscle if you're training. If you're training um weight training or resistance training, I should say, to failure. So, what are the um takeaways from the video? Uh First off, when you should be consuming the three macronutrients. Just a quick recap: fats, if you're low on energy or your sex drive feels low because of hormone production and energy restoration; carbohydrates before a workout for energy; and protein after a workout for the muscle building process. Can you eat junk food while you are losing fat and gaining muscle? Yes, you can, as long as you are hitting your goals and not going over and also are in a calorie deficit. And how do you put yourself in a calorie deficit? Walk 10, 15,000, 20,000 steps per day, and eat in a caloric deficit of 200, 300, somewhere around there. Um, and yeah, uh, it's really simple. It is extremely simple on how you can eat and lose fat but gain muscle. And I feel like this is one of the concepts that is just so looked at as something that is extremely difficult to do. But you see these people doing it all the time. And it's once you get the hang of it, it really is no big deal. And if you really want to get a head start on it, get one of the apps I was talking about, find out your maintenance calories, find out how many macronutrients you should be eating, memorize it, get it down. Not well, maybe not memorize it, but get an estimate, get get it in your head. Keep the app for 1 to 2 weeks. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just log what you're eating for days, I guess. It really doesn't have to be consistent within those 2 weeks. You're really just doing it to get that maintenance calories and to see what it feels like to um, eat that many calories, and also that many macronutrients, like what's in each and how much you should be eating. And once you get that and you get in a calorie deficit, you're eating enough protein, then you'll lose fat. You'll lose fat, you build muscle. It's really simple. It really is simple. Um, I I know this is really could be a difficult thing, and like I've said through the video, like people really hype this up as like a you know this is really difficult to do. Like, oh no, I'm gonna be gaining fat forever because I can't put down my favorite fast food restaurant. I can't stop going to McDonald's because I just have a severe addiction to it, and I'm gonna just gain so much fat. And this guy's I need to eat my fruits and veggies to gain or lose fat and gain muscle. No, you don't. And a lot of busy guys keep their wheels spinning because they're following cookie cutter plans that don't fit their lifestyle. They either burn out after 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, or they give it up because it feels impossible to balance fitness with like work or lifestyle stuff, family, friends, girlfriend, relationships, stuff like that. Just hard to balance stuff. But that is exactly why I created a coaching program. It is a one-to-one coaching system, and it's designed specifically for busy men who want to finally build muscle, drop fat, get into shape in the next 4 to 12 months, depending on who you are and what your goals are, and obviously how much fat you have on your body or how big you are. Like, you know, that plays a role in the 4 to 12 months, but without spending hours in the gym or obsessing over calories. Um, in the program, I just build you custom workout plans, nutrition strategies, mindset systems. Just like this video, I'll teach you the basic, not basics. I'll teach you the advanced. But when you're starting out, I'll teach you the basics. work you up to the advance, and it will be so much quicker than trying to learn it yourself because I've been in your shoes before. I've been where you are. So I know how to get past those hurdles that are in your way to begin with and get you into the best shape of your life. So if you're ready to stop guessing and actually see results, um, click the link in my bio and in the description, probably. Um, and you can sign up for my one-to-one coaching program. Um, but yeah, let's build your plan and get you where you want to be. I mean, this is your chance. You should take it. It's great. You can work with me, work with my team. I'm glad to have anybody that wants to work and wants to get better, wants to improve their life, and just wants to better themselves. I'm ready to work with anyone like that. So click the link, and hopefully I will see you or talk to you on a call soon. Have a good day.